video is a bit of a retro review. It's for the DC Universe Signature Series LED figure. LED was part of the DC Universe Mattel Collector's subscription line. I've passed on this for years because I always thought this figure was way too big for LED. It's one of the Mattel's things. They would always seems like they would pick the wrong body for certain characters. As you can see, this is a Bucky cap, and the packaging is absolutely huge. The figure's huge. LED is more of a rotund character, not a gigantic character. And I'm not quite sure why they would use the Dark Side Collect and Connect figure as the base for LED. As I mentioned, the packaging is quite huge. It's for the big character. You got some nice artwork for LED. You can see what he should look like. It's more like a rotund looking character, not a big muscle bound giant type character. The same artwork's on the back. Now, if it could have made a LED that looked like this, it's a little closer in scale that way it should have been, I would have had this a long time ago. I finally decided to break down and get this one mainly just so I can finish up my metal bin, because, well, I don't really see anyone else putting a LED out that's going to match in scale wise with the previous DCUC figures. Let's open the box up and take a closer look at LED. LED comes secured with rubber bands inside the plastic tray. Outside the packaging, LED's a good-looking figure. It's, if you have him in hand, it will really emphasize the fact to show how big he is. He is built on the DCUC Collect and Connect Dark Side body. With being on the Dark Side body, you can actually take them apart. It's still got the same construction as the Collect Connect figure. You can take them completely apart. Taking apart, you can see the articulation in the head. Instead of being a standard ball joint in the torso, there's a peg that inserts and clicks in place inside the torso. With being on the Dark Side body, there is a lot of reuse, but they did actually sculpt some new parts for LED. Of course, the new head, new gloves, new lower legs with the boots sculpted on. They matched up the texture of the Dark Side rocky texture on his body, and new feet. The Dark Side's feet have the tech detail on the bottom, and they're like a slimmer profile. They also the new overlay for the torso, which hinders the ab crunch completely, so you don't really get any ab crunch out of it because of the overlay of the tunic. He is a little bit on the wobbly side and a little unbalanced. The color is great though. I like all the little rivet details on the figure. It matches along with a lot of the other metal men. Well, let's do a quick little rundown on the articulation on the figure. With the head with articulation, it doesn't have much. You can get a little bit of can't really go up much, about that far, and down that much. Full 360. And it's very loose. The arms are on the disc hinges and go up to here. With bicep swivel, which is very tight. There it goes. Single jointed elbow, less than 90 degrees. There's no wrist articulation. The gloves do swivel. With the ab crunch completely hindered, it's there, but you just can't use it. It has a waist twist. The legs. The hips are on disc hinges. And then go forward, back, out to here, outside the tunic, and upper thigh swivel. Single joint knees. There's no boot cut. Ankle rockers. No pivots. Well, there's a little bit of pivoting motion, but not enough to actually benefit any. And so with the back on the figure though, the tunic will hinder the leg articulation. See, about that's as far as it's going to get on the body, back, and out to the side. I kind of understand why they went with the dark side body with the for lead for the texture. It's a nice little touch with for the figure. But personally, I'd rather have seen them use the old DCSH dark side body. Would have had a lot better in scale with the other Metal Men. As you can see on the dark side body, he absolutely towers over the other Metal Men. But if he was on this body, as you can see, he's very unstable. But since they're going to do the overlay with the tunic on top of the body, you would lose the ab crunch anyway. They could have just done an overlay over top of this body. Did new lower legs, same with what they did with this one. Had a much better in scale lead than what they actually made. I'd love to see a caster actually like shrink this head down, or you can put it on this body, or even on the DC Multiverse body. It still has the rocky texture, or just using my O2 Classic style body as well. Anything would be a little better scale than this giant body they used. For a little bit of other size comparisons of modern figures, people may not have some of the older DCUC figures if you're a little newer into collecting. Lead actually towers over the Apocalypse figure, the Age Apocalypse figure, and he towers over it. And this is not a small figure, because you can see that it stands over the Bucky cap. It's just the lead is just such a monstrous figure, and he's not really that supposed to be depicted that way. It's one of the many weird decisions Mattel made back in the day. It's like body choices was not their strong suit for characters. I skipped on this figure for years just because he was oversized, but seeing him in a team shot, yeah, he doesn't look too bad. He is still way too big for the character, but he should be short and fat, not big and muscular. But overall, I think it's great to just be able to finally finish up the team, and since no one else is making 6-inch DC figures anymore, I figured might as well go ahead to track one down. But if you can find one, it's pretty good. He's a little loose, he's a little unstable, but he's very floppy on a lot of joints, but he does look good staying with the team. Well, that'll be it for now. I'll see y'all next time.